Welcome. In some denominations, you'd make a trip to the pastor's study for answers to the really tough questions. Well, let's see what we can do here. Hello, merry meet and blessed be. And welcome to another session in a very different pastor's study. Depending on how you got here, I'm Aidan Odinson, High Priest of the Temple of Gaia, or Bishop Cal Lippitt of the Universal Episcopal Church. Either way, welcome. And coming down to, I see on the about another week and we'll have Thanksgiving here in the States. And that means the official start of the Christmas season, as some people call it, the holiday season, as some people call it, and the war. Yeah. You're going to hear people talking about a supposed war on Christmas. And I've been hearing about it one way or another for a long time. I remember in 1975, no, 74, when I was in Thailand. Now, somehow the Sunday religious programming on Armed Forces Thailand Network all seemed to be towards the fundamentalist, Pentecostal, that sort of folks. Not much for the Catholics, nothing for Anglicans or Episcopalians, etc. And I remember one commentator on there talking about how Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny were substitutes. And I'll get into that another time. I'm going to say one thing right now. There's also a Keep Christ in Christmas campaign. And I have no objection to that. I have no problem with that at all. As a matter of fact, I agree with it. So far as Keep Christ in Christmas. A lot of people who celebrate Christmas seem to have forgotten what it's about. And instead have turned it into a big spending spree. But then again, there are a lot of holidays that people need to remember what they're about. Yeah, quite a few holidays could use some help along that line. I certainly know a very dear friend of mine that I remember from my high school days that I was in Air Explorers with. He did not die in Vietnam to kick off summertime. I think there's something else that Memorial Day is there for, and it includes honoring people such as Terry Handley, who gave his life in the service of his country. But then we have these people who have objections to people saying, Happy Holidays, Season's Greetings. What's the big deal here? Well, it does so happen that between November and December, there are a lot more religious holidays than Christmas. You've got Hanukkah for the Jewish people. You've got Yule in various forms for the pagans and Wiccans, at least in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere, a lot of them are celebrating Litha. Why? Because it corresponds to what nature is doing. And what nature is doing locally, not necessarily in Rome, where Christmas was originally designated. And I could go on and on and on and on. But the point is, there are a lot of people who celebrate a holiday during that time of the year, but the holiday they celebrate is not Christmas. And I don't know what somebody would do if a clerk in a place like Walmart told somebody, Happy Hanukkah. I'm not sure what somebody would do in some other store if a clerk said, Blessed Yule. Well, they might be thinking that it's Christmas that they're talking about. But it's not. But season's greetings. Happy holidays. That kind of nicely covers everybody, doesn't it? And I see that to be a blessing. Because, can you tell by looking at me what set of holidays I celebrate? I'm not talking about the fact that you're looking at me on this show. I'm talking about if you just saw me on the street, would you be able to presume what holidays I celebrate? Would I be able to come across you at home, at work, wherever, and be able to make a presumption as to what holidays you celebrate? But there is a presumption that we can usually make. If for nothing else, even the atheists get the days off. Even the atheists get some days off. And I've never seen too many atheists who would say, no, I will not take that day off. Especially if it's a day off with pay. No, they'll take it. Or at least any of them that I know. And, well, so, season's greetings, happy holidays. That can apply to just about anybody. And if you come across one of the few that it doesn't, well, you're probably getting some days off from work or from school because of it anyway. So they're going to have happy holidays whether or not their calendar includes them. And I think that's a lot better than presuming. If you know the person, that's another matter. Or if what the person is doing or what the person is, the activity that the person is engaged in, if you know and it makes it obvious, that's a different matter, of course. Somebody ringing a bell for the Salvation Army, of course, wish them a Merry Christmas. Somebody dressed as Santa Claus, of course, wish them a Merry Christmas. If you see somebody wearing one of those funny collars like I'm sometimes known to wear, wish them a Merry Christmas. Or if you know them personally, or if they're buying some obviously Christian stuff in the store, or whatever, yeah, sure. But do not make a presumption just because of whatever that Christmas applies, or that Hanukkah applies, or that Yule applies. No. And I don't think that's a war on Christmas. As a matter of fact, something to ponder. Supposing, out of respect, I say to someone, and I don't know who they are, but let's say they're Jewish, and I say, Happy Holidays. Happy Holidays to them would register as Hanukkah. And they say back to me, Happy Holidays. And for me, that's Christmas and Yule. And that's a nice exchange. And if we recognize that exchange, guess what? It's called respect. It's called cooperation. And maybe we can build on that. Why not? I'm Aidan. Blessed be. This has been a presentation of the Wise Ones Net. Merry part and blessed be.